Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this message may find you. I hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to cover a new plugin by Sound Particles. Just wanted to welcome you to the channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Pretty much everyone that visits this channel hasn't subscribed yet, so all it takes is a simple tap, and now we are in cohesion. Let's get into Sound Particles. Got a new plugin that just came out. It's called Density. Let's go. All right, so here it is, Sound Particles Density. What does it do? What is it for? Density essentially creates wider sounds in your mixes by increasing the density of voices by means of granular synthesis and a couple of other techniques. What's important to note is that anybody can use this, and there are 3 operational modes. We start at basic, get a little bit more complex with detune, and then finally for all of the master synth geniuses out there, multi-pitch will have you having fun for days. Now, the most important thing to notate here is when you use technology such as this, you want to make sure the correlation and the phase doesn't get off. I have a bunch of great videos on that, so go ahead and check out the rest of the channel. But here is the source material that we're working with. So let's say I wanted to take that and make it sound richer, fuller. Density can help with that. Check it out. So you might notice on the left-hand side, using Mott's 2BC multi-core plugin, check them out, that the correlation is perfect. Even though we're increasing the amount of voices, in this case, we're using the small ensemble, so we're using 4 voices. When we use the larger ensemble, we use 16. Let's check that out. All right, and then just for a bit of objectivity, I'll go ahead and soft bypass. So that's a massive difference. Now, something that's happening underneath the hood, down here at the very bottom, you can see that we're adding some bass. Now, that's pretty sweet. I've never seen a product like this that will automatically add some bottom to the signal. So let's go ahead and increase this all the way to 69-70 cents by means of the detune knob. This is the primary knob you'll be using within this particular algorithm. Let's check this out. Okay, again, bypass. Yeah, it sounds weak, flimsy. Let's use the small ensemble this time. So just please remember that if you decide to double like this by means of any plugin, always fact check using a correlation meter, but ideally using this multi-band correlation meter on the left-hand side here by Mott. All right, let's carry on. All right, so that could be it for you. This kind of investment could just get you to sound thicker, have denser sounds, or you can start to get a little bit further, deeper into the woods by means of the detune mode. Let's get into that. So as soon as you traverse over to detune, you'll notice that the quality and the shape has changed significantly. Check it out. Now you have a lot more options here. For example, I get to control the movement. Let's say I want this to move counterclockwise. We get to do that. So there are so many buttons and different ways to move the signal at this point, but basically you go between detuning it and increasing the number of voices. So you can use either this knob right here and that knob right there, or you can use the XY pad here to have fun with the signal. I'm going to go ahead and increase the grain size, increase the range, and then play with the position divergence to try and get some more movement. Here we go. So again, just to give you some more objectivity to stand back a bit, let's take a listen before. Completely different world. Let's turn it on. Now, if you wanted to, you can go ahead and reverse the grain type. Check this out. And you can have both of these happening at the same time. Let's check that out. So that sounds really great. Multi-pitch is really going to take it to a whole different level. You can literally control every single voice. You can control the pitch of every single voice, the number of voices within that specific grain, and then, of course, the gain of that signal. So I'm not going to get into that here, but just to give you a good idea of what's possible, let's check out some of these presets. Here we go. All right, here's another one. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to take this into an actual session. I'm currently mixing an incredible artist. His name is Sincerely Iris. And so we're going to see how density can benefit an actual session. Let's go. All right, so let me just give you a taste of what we're working with here.
Until we meet again, you and I, born into this skin. Amen. Do we even fit? Do we even fit?
Two guitars, one pan soft left, the other soft right. Would like to make them sound richer somehow. You can see that with the processing on the left-hand side, I've exhausted pretty much everything that I could do in terms of treatment. With a plugin like this, I can take all of those decisions and position this particular sound or sounds and make them work in the mix. So I'm just going to turn this on at the most basic level using the first operation mode, and we'll just leave this to, let's say, 28 cents. I'll take off the added bass because that probably won't complement what I'm trying to do. And I'll press play. I'll soft bypass every once in a while and just pay attention to how it's positioned in the mix now and how it really brings in the sounds in such a way where you can really hear everything. Let's check it out. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. I was able to then take a sound that almost worked, it was just about there, and just get it right to a place where it sounded good. Sometimes it's blending, sometimes it's attenuation of frequencies or amplitude, but in this case, we just needed a little bit of chorus, if you will, to get it to work. So this is a really good example of how this plugin can really help out when it comes to mixing your music. All right, so here's one more example for you. Got this hook, sounds really good, but the voices are just positioned too out in front. And by using density, you can really hear the flip and the switch. It just works. So here's without it. Check it out. Again, voices sound great. It's not a matter of tuning or performance. It's just that at the core of it, it's just not really working as a whole. Density up and running. I'll use the small ensemble, then I'll shift over to the large. Here we go. So that's a lot better. This is working in the context of this mix. Check out the large ensemble. And again, one more time before. All right, I think you're starting to get it. Density by sound particles. I very much recommend this to anybody that wants to go ahead and just get that little bit of progress in their songs. At some point, as I've been saying all along, it's a game of inches. And if you want to get that much better, you have to invest in better products, better tools, and of course, invest in yourself and put the time, energy, and commitment into becoming a better mixer and producer. This is Eddie Gray signing off. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really means the world to me. I never thought this was even possible, and now I've been able to touch and reach out to others. So that's been really great. Thank you for following. I got a lot of content coming soon. Go ahead and support the channel. We'll see you later. Take care.